How's it going there, guys? Hey, Jeremy back here with Consciousness Awake. How's everyone doing today? Sending a lot of good positive energy to everybody. Uh, in this video, I have some Bible verses um, that are about that are supposed to be about astral projection. So I did some research and looked up a dozen or so biblical verses that supposedly are the text is saying that astral projection is a evil thing or a bad thing, an occult thing, a demonic thing. It's harmful for your soul to astral projection, um, that kind of stuff. The reason why I did some research on this and looked these up is because I have somebody in the Consciousness Awake community who's subscribed to the channel. They watch a lot of. Actually, this is not the only person. There's a few people like this who watch my videos. They're interested. They're curious in what the videos are about and what I'm saying and my experiences, my perspectives. My opinions. Um, but they're very religious. They're very religious people. They belong to a religious organization. They, read their holy book, and as part of their own spiritual pathway, even if it's a religious pathway. It's still a pathway. As I've said before in some other videos, as long as an individual's consciousness is content, happy, loving, within whatever belief structure, religious belief structure, or spiritual belief structure they have. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's no reason to judge anybody else for whatever they want to put their consciousness into, whatever kind of belief structure they want to be part of. If that's a religious organization or if that's your own spiritual journey, spiritual pathway, your own thing. So either way, if people are content and happy, there's no reason for any other being to judge another being. Just like, there's no reason for one being to infringe on the free will, of another being. So those are just some multiverse, rules of conduct there. In this video, first thing I want to address is, okay, so I'm getting emails from people who are subscribed to the channel, of course, and they keep telling me that the church basically has proclaimed that seeking out-of-body experiences or learning astral projection is negative, is bad, is evil, is harmful to your soul. That God will judge you, etc. And I wanted to make this video and kind of touch on this and give my own perspective on this. I did look up, like I said, a dozen or so Bible verses that supposedly are supposed to be telling their followers that pursuing OBEs or the art of astral projection is supposed to be bad. Now I'm going to read a few of them. I'm just going to kind of scan through them and just pick out some random ones and just read them to see if they even sound like they're trying to tell people that astral projection is evil. Now, before I read those, though, I want to make a really, really valid point. Something I truly, truly believe within my own consciousness and my own heart. I don't care what religious organization an individual is part of or not part of around the world. And there's many different holy books, right? There's many different holy books out there, not just the Bible. And there's different versions of the Bible also. I'm sure most of you are aware of that. But the real truth to the nature of this multiverse we exist in, the truth is that it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to have spontaneous or just natural astral projection experiences, out of body experiences, especially while your physical body is sleeping every night. You're not having them all the time, but you're going to have them. And 99% of people just don't have any memory recall of those experiences, let alone remember the last 3 dreams they had in the early morning hours as you hit your deeper cycles of REM, of deeper stages of sleep. I typically, pretty much every morning, as I wake up, the first few minutes after waking up, I have recollection of the last 2 to 3 dreams solid. And they're all different and all interesting and just random. Lucid dreaming, 99.9% of the time when I become aware that I'm in a dream and become lucid, I have 100% memory recall of all those experiences. And also a lot of my dreaming, I have a lot of memory recall, and then the OBE stuff. Of course, there's times throughout my life where I know I was out of body, I was astral projecting, but I wasn't like really 100% consciously aware at the time. I was semi-consciously aware. So it's like a kind of a hazy memory, or just little fragments of those memories are there, but not the whole experience. So even for me, I have had experiences, and I'm sure there's other experiences that I had here and there, astral projection out of body, where maybe I'm not having my own memory recall of everything. So I know that for a fact. Anybody, if they're non-religious, or on their own spiritual pathway, if they're part of some one of these different types of religious organizations, etc., etc., all around the world, everyone's having natural out-of-body experiences. Okay, it's natural. It's the key thing here is about 7 minutes into the video. The key thing here is that the art of astral projection and consciousness exploration is not a cult. It's not a cult. It has nothing to do with the cult. And I think that over the years, people who are more involved with the holy books and the religious organizations, etc., they get kind of programmed mentally to think that that if you pursue astral projection and trying to do this kind of stuff, that it has some association with occult activities. And of course, if you are part of a religious organization, of course, you're not going to just walk into your church and say, "Hey, on the other day, I was participating in some kind of occult activities." It's just not going to jive, right? That would be crazy. But my point here is that my actual real point here is that, like I said, astral projection is not a cult, and it's not considered that. Just because there's been occultists and certain orders in magical groups and spiritual groups and all these different things that have utilized astral projection, the light body, astral projection, lucid dreaming, all these types of things. They've utilized components of those things within their own spiritual belief structure, process, and system. Just because they incorporated it doesn't mean that astral projection all of a sudden becomes occult-like, right? The natural aspects of consciousness shifting and astral projection and lucid dreaming is not occult at all. So if you agree with me, leave it in the comments down below. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, leave it in the comments down below. If you do agree with what I'm saying, hit the like button. All right, anyway, so let me go to, let's see some random, let me get the mouse here and scroll through some of these guys. Some of these different Bible verses that supposedly are, saying that astral projection is, bad or, occult-like. So let's look at Revelation 4, 1-2, and I'm going to read this word for word. These are mostly pretty short verses. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as if it were a trumpet talking with me, which said, "Come up hither, and I will shew thee things which must be hereafter." And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, a throne, and one sat on this throne. So Revelation 4:1 dash 2. So I don't know why this verse is even listed on here as one of the Bible verses that say that astral projection is bad. So I see no correlation there. I mean, there's the part where, and I immediately was in the spirit and that kind of stuff, but there's nothing in there that is actually saying that it's evil or demonic or bad for your, harmful to your soul, or that God's going to judge you for doing astral projection or pursuing consciousness exploration. I don't see anything like that in there. So let's look at another one. Scroll through here. Let's do this one. So it was a short one. Romans 8:9. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that spirit of God dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Christ, he is none of his. Again, I don't really see a correlation there where Romans 8:9 is actually stating word for word that pursuing the art of astral projection is bad. I mean, honestly, in the beginning of this video, what I wanted to say was that I'm not even familiar from my own research over the years with different holy books, guys. I've never seen anything that, like, word for word says don't pursue out-of-body experiences or learning the multiverse or the art of astral projection or any of those kinds of things. All I've come across is people that are in these organizations and they're telling other people what they were told. They're mentally programmed and taking certain things out of context or manipulating certain words or whatever, right? And making it sound like something is something, or that astral projection is bad and occult-like or something. Video's at 12 minutes. Let me do one more verse and see if that has really anything to do with astral projection. Let's do Acts 10:10. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance state. Or again, I don't see anything there that's specifically saying a verse that's specifically saying that it's bad for your soul or bad for you to do to learn the art of astral projection. There's some other ones here. Talking about sorcery and wizards and things, but again, all of that. I mean, now, mind you, I don't want to make this video too long. Mind you that when you wake up in a dream, let's say you become lucid and you have lucid dreaming experiences, flying around and doing all this stuff, and reality shifting, and then having astral plane experiences, reality shifting through different astral reality constructs, and talking to different beings, and all this kind of stuff, and having experiences. All of those things, when you're having them, even to this day, I'll come back to my physical body and be like, wow, that was just like so magical. That was so intense and amazing, and so mind-bending how this multiverse is. And it's like a magical experience. But just because I'm having these experiences, does that mean I'm a sorcerer? Does that mean I'm a wizard? No. I'm just consciously aware. My consciousness is awake. And that's why I named the channel Consciousness Awake. And also Consciousness Awake is my code word for when I'm in, like, dreams, for example, so that word pops up, or that I say it myself in a dream. And then that turns on my lucidity, So there's a few different reasons why I named the channel Consciousness Awake. Anyways, guys, we're at 14 minutes now. Before we get to 15, I hope that was helpful in some way. If you like to hit the thumbs up button, and if you have any comments, definitely leave them down below. If they're negative or positive or against what I'm saying, or enlighten me if you're aware of any particular, let's say, Bible verses, for example, or any other holy book And there's certain words like that really, really define that astral projection is supposed to be, like horrible for you or something. Please leave it in the comments or leave a link or just email me or whatnot. I'm a very open person, but at this point in my life, I do know 100% within my own perspective and opinion that the art of astral projection is a ascension tool for your consciousness. It's a good spiritual pathway to ascend yourself through the multiverse. And I believe that anybody else who judges you for doing this kind of practice or calls you occult or evil or demonic or any of these kinds of things, all they're doing is just judging you. And of course, there's no room for infringement of other people's free will. There's no time or patience or anything for people who want to judge you for how you are, as long as you're happy within yourself and happy with what you're doing in your life and with your own consciousness, etc. Right? I mean, if a person's doing horrible things or hurting other people and another person judges them for that, I mean, that's a whole other can of worms. That's a whole different topic. But anyways, peace, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.